Hey guys, welcome back. Orbomb here, bringing you another one of our live deck profiles. Today we're going to be showcasing the Beast Box deck that my buddy Steven played. Ignore my voice, I did literally just wake up. It took me all night to get my computer set up, but thanks to you lovely sponsors, people that were my Patreons, people that bought merchandise, thanks to all you guys, I was able to get a computer. Of course, it's mainly thanks to my best friend and girlfriend, both giving me about $500 in total. So I have to start working on paying them back, so if you guys still want to support me, that's a good way to do it. But I finally got a computer, which means I can finally start uploading regularly again. Of course, as soon as I get a computer, I have people that are coming in to work on my floors in my house. So this is really early in the morning so that I can get this done before they show up. So yeah, we're getting all of our carpet removed and replacing them with wood floors, and they're going to be here for like a week. But I'm awake early. I gotta make sure I get this live deck profile done for you guys, and I'm excited. So before we get into the video, don't forget to drop a like. Remember, if you answer the comment question today as well as drop a like, you have a chance to win a booster box of Unified Mind thanks to our lovely sponsors at Guardian Gaming. Lovely people. Hopefully they, oh, never mind. So yeah, that and a couple of codes as well for all people that comment. Like, you have a chance to win that as well. So answer the comment question today being, what do you guys think of Beast Box? I know Beast Box is very like varied in the community. For instance, my buddy Steven, this is his list, this is his deck. Actually, I'm borrowing it, so I have to give it back today, so I'm borrowing it for the deck profile. He loves Beast Box. He thinks it's a lot of fun, and he's really into the deck. I personally think Beast Box is underpowered, I guess, to be nice. I don't think it's that great, and I'm not a big fan of his playstyle. Like, it's one of those decks that like is cool if you can get the deck going, but can auto lose to some cards like just say like a single fairy Pokemon with the Ultra Beast. I mean, there's ways to beat it, of course, but just like it's kind of a weird deck, and it's reliant on like sniping and everything. Whatever. We're gonna go over the deck though. I think there's definitely games where this thing can overtake you for sure, and we're gonna go over that now. Is there anything else we need to talk about? No, I guess we'll just get right into it. Of course, I am profiling these decks, this and Baby Bucephalon, because this is what you guys wanted to see. Of course, these two decks are definitely not in my, like, let's see, I'm trying to avoid the glare. That should be fine. Of course, these decks are not exactly in my top tier echelon of decks that I think are going to be like the best in format, but these are decks that a lot of you guys suggested that I profile, so we're going to go ahead and do that. And I'm actually really like, I'm not going to lie, when I saw Beast Box in action, I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I would. But let's go ahead and talk about the Pokemon. We got 3 Dragon Nagas. If you guys don't know, Dragon Nagas have, I don't have the English copy on me, my English copy is somewhere else, but the 210 HP with an ability that lets you discard an Ultra Beast from your hand if you do draw 3 cards. People are comparing it to trade. It's not really comparable to trade, but it is comparable in the sense that you can draw a bunch of cards. So obviously, if you have a bunch of these down on the board, you can draw a lot of cards really easily, really quickly, and that way you can load up your board. Excuse me, and find all the combo pieces you need to win all sorts of games. The attack for Psychic and 3 colorless energies does do 170 damage to whatever Pokemon on the board, but you have to discard 3 energies in the process. Pretty easy to do when you have triple energies and recycle energies and stuff like that. And of course, this GX attack lets you take a card from your opponent's discard pile and put it on in their prizes. So it's not a great GX attack. In fact, it's a really bad GX attack. I'm not even gonna flex. It's not that great. So I would never use it. A GX attack that is good though, especially when you're playing against tag teams, is Naganadel GX's Stinger GX. So this is the Psychic type one. It's not really ever going to be taking knockouts. You can take knockouts with Beast Ride, and I guess also Jet Needle if you're playing against the right matchup. Beast Ride, then you take 20 damage for each of your Ultra Beasts in place. You can hit up to 120 for colorless energy. Jet Needle is not affected by weakness or resistance. So that's straight 110 is sometimes nice. But Stinger GX lets you both shuffle your prizes into your deck and then put out 3 prizes. So essentially what you do versus tag team decks is that you hit them once with a Naga, you weaken a tag team with a Naga, you use Stinger GX, and then you finish off that tag team with another attack. Usually it's another Naga. Like, you have multiple Nagas that can take knockouts, and then like, no, as long as they don't heal, and as long as they don't take multiple knockouts in one turn, you should be able to win that game pretty much every time. Like, think about this versus like a Reshizard. Say that you, like, a Reshizard took a bunch of prizes from you. You stamp them down to 1, and then you you stamp them down, and then you hit them with this, right? And they can't revenge you for one reason or another. Like, say that are 3 prizes, right? They took like 3 prizes, either 2 or 3 prizes from you. You stamp them down, you hit them once with this. they can't heal because they've been stamped. So you retreat into this one and then you use Stinger. So now you're both down to 3 prizes. They take a knockout on this, they're about down to 1 prize, but then you finish them off with this, and even if they retreat, you can finish them off with this because of a sniping ability, the sniping attacks. So it's a really easy way to beat tag teams with this little combo, and it's a really fun way, and yeah, it's dope. And now as far as the Ultra Beasts go, we're playing a bunch of non-GX ones, but first we are playing one Pheromosa tag team. This is another card that can win games. Just Beast Games GX is ridiculous. Especially since you're only hitting 170 with this. Sometimes you can put things in range of Beast Game, letting you take an extra prize when you take a knockout with it. I guess you can technically load up Beast Game with 8 energies. It's just really unlikely. But you could technically load up Beast Game with 8 energies, so you can take, I believe, 3 extra prize cards. It is a possibility. It's just very unlikely. You also have Elegant Soul that can hit 190. It is a tag team, so you have that gigantic HP number. A Jet Punch could put things in range as well, so it's still definitely a decent card in this deck. One build that I want to try with this deck is like the Celesteela build that has a lot of Celesteelas that can tank hits and choice helmets and stuff like that, and you play a bit tankier. But this is a Porygon build. I think the Porygon build is way more fun, at least because you can just rain down those energies, and most of the time, because you're drawing so many Ultra Beasts, you can set up Porygons really quickly just because you're drawing through your deck so much. It's one of those decks where, like, I'm super against stage 2s because it's really hard to set them up. But whenever you have access to almost your entire deck via drawing, then it's really easy to set up stage 2s. Now, as far as these Ultra Beasts go, we are playing one Duskmane. Dusk Shot can do 60 damage to put things in range, and Rusty Claws can do 200 damage if you have exactly one prize card remaining. So that 200 damage could sometimes be game winning. You never know. We got, this is where the glare is. Can we avoid it? We'll put all the cards up here for the time being. Yeah, it's a little bit weird just based off the camera, but I mean, you guys can survive, right? You guys are awesome. We'll put these cards up here. I'm trying to avoid all glare, but I'm in that part of the house because of all the floor people working on the things, like, and trying to. I'm in a place where I can record, but there's not a lot of places left. We got one Xurkitree. This is a card that confuses me, but he said that he saw a list and he really liked this list. He really liked what this card can do. The instant paralysis from Cablegram is pretty decent because, you know, status conditions are great. And then Dazzle Blast can confuse, so it's really good for stalling. So he's playing one of these as well. Keep in mind, he's mainly playing these cards as just draw engine cards. But regardless, they might as well pull in some use, right? We got one Nihilego. We all know Nihilego Nightcap is ridiculous, especially whenever you're playing versus like Pikarom, because if there are 2 prize cards remaining, you can Nightcap their GX attack for game a lot of the time. And then, of course, Void Tentacles. Back to status conditions. Man, we had a game where I was playing Baby Bucephalon, and like he just won with Void Tentacles because I couldn't like afford to retreat. It was ridiculous. And of course, we have Baby Buzzwole as well. Sledgehammer, of course, strong attack, great versus Pikarom. Swing Around is another attack you could potentially use as well for, once again, the Pikarom matchup. That's it. We are missing a water type Ultra Beast. We don't have any, of course, but it'd be so nice if we did. That's it for the Ultra Beast, though. One thing that we were suggesting that he would try is probably play another Brock's Grit or a Ditto. I don't know. I think he took out the Ditto, but Ditto so that you have essentially a fifth. A fifth, what's it called, Poipole, and Brock's Grit to shuffle back in these Ultra Beasts that you constantly discard for your Nihilego so you can draw even more cards. So something to keep in mind. We're only playing one at a time being. Oh, there's the glare. But definitely could be playing more. And then one other Pokemon we're playing is the Mewtwo Mew tag team, just to copy any of these Nihilego's attacks, and it could also copy Buzzmosa. So you have just the ability to copy attacks. It's pretty nice. 270 HP is definitely not bad either. And then you can also technically use this GX attack for healing, to heal your entire board, which could sometimes come in handy. So it does 200 damage, and if you have 1 extra energy attached, I believe it's 1 extra energy. Let me double check. Yes, 1 extra energy attached, you can heal all the Pokemon on your board. And then if that's it for the Pokemon that are the Ultra Beasts. We also have our 3/3 line of Porygon Z here. crazy code letting you attach as many special energies as you like from your hand to one of your Pokemon in your turn. So essentially you can attach as many energies as you like per turn. It's pretty nice. Tantrum can hit for 120, just a good base number, I suppose. We are playing the 50 HP Porygon because the 50 HP Porygon has Digicharge, which you search for any 3 energies from your deck. For each head you flip, you have to flip 3 coins. So obviously it's 50 HP, which I guess in the end of the day is not the worst thing in the world. But more importantly is the fact that you can get those special energies from your deck into your hand. We're not playing any basic energies, which means we could technically auto lose to Honchkrow. But you know, who's playing Honchkrow, right? That's the idea, because like Honchkrow's really bad. It really is just a bad deck. Especially now that there's no more DCE, like you would only be getting rid of like triple energy decks for the most part. And I guess technically this deck, if this deck ever picks up play, I suppose. Well, as far as the trainers go, let me actually remove one of these. We're doing the trainers now, and these are going to be for Mysterious Treasure, because obviously you can search up all your Poipoles, Nagas, and there's a lot of other Pokemon you could search out with Mysterious Treasure as well. So we are playing 4 Treasure, 4 Pokecoms. Pokecoms help you get your Porygons easily and quickly. We are playing 3 Cherish Balls. This is a recent addition to the deck, and he's been loving it and made the deck a lot smoother to get those Nagas out as quickly as possible. So now you have 7 cards, I guess technically 11 cards that can search out Nagas if you count Pokemon Communication, but Treasure and Cherish Ball can search out the Nagas for you, and then the Treasure and the Pokecoms can search out the Poipoles for you, so you can set up your board. I feel like getting at least 2 or 3 Poipoles down turn 1 is kind of essential. We also play Ultra Space in this deck, so we have lots of ways to get down those Poipoles, so you can generally use Pokecom to get your Porygons out faster. We are playing 3 Rare Candy, only 3. Once again, because we're drawing through our deck so much, we generally don't have to worry about playing 4. That's his mentality, at least. And because like usually you're not going to be attacking the Porygon. Like sure, you could try to target down the Porygon, but once they have Porygon down for like 1 or 2 turns, then they already attached all the energies they really needed for the most part. At that point, it's all about like chaining your triple energies, which is not as hard to do. Like even with a Porygon not on the board if they took a knockout, because you're drawing through your entire deck with Naga. And then 1 Reset Stamp, because it's Reset Stamp. It's just a good card. And that's it there. Let me actually put this treasure back. All right. Items just very self-explanatory. Just go through your deck, get your Pokemon, and call it a day. What else we got? We have 4 Ultra Space. Like I mentioned earlier, the 4 Ultra Space are kind of like another one of your draw engine cards. As long as you have a Naga down, Ultra Space can essentially get you a draw 3 every turn once you have your Nagas down, as well as that early game setup. As far as the supporters, 3 Lilies, 2 Cynthia, Lusamine Prism. I'm not a huge fan of this card just because if you're not playing like a non-GX or a tag team based deck, it's really hard to like put it's really hard to have your opponent be at 3 prizes. Like you kind of have to force the game, which is really awkward to do. You generally don't want to do it. So Lusamine Prism, I want to replace Bill's Analysis. He's playing it to help him find rare candies. I mean, you could play Bill's Analysis for that. I'm not like, it's not the worst thing in the world. So sure. But he's only playing the 1, which is just weird to me, as a 1-of. And then, of course, the Brock. Brock has been probably the most useful card as far as these 1-of supporters go, because Brock has allowed him to shuffle back in his Pokemon so that he can draw more cards or set up Nagas again. So Brock is probably my favorite of the 3, for sure. In fact, I would probably replace at least the Lusamine Prism with a 2nd Brock so that you can have Brock in more of your games, as well as be able to use Brock twice in the game. Bills I can see keeping, because once again, you do want to get that rare candy as quickly as possible. I'm more about the consistency, if anything. It's just hard to play draw supporters in this deck because you're drawing with your Naga. Lily is pretty dead after turn 1, and Cynthia is like, I mean, Cynthia is good for shuffle drawing, I guess. You do play down a lot of your cards in your hand, so I'd say maybe increase Cynthia if you want to play shuffle draw over Lily at least, because like I said, with this deck, you do play down a lot of your cards, so it's not like you're going to be putting back a lot of cards in from your deck into your hand a lot of the time. So that's it for the supporters. And now for the special energies. It's going to be a pretty weird line, but we got 3 Recycle Energies, Amazing card. Recycle energy provides colorless energy. If this card is put into your discard pile from play, return it into your hand. So essentially, I don't actually know how the ruling of this. My buddy's a judge. Steven's a judge, so he told me based off what he knows. But I think if you discard this from your deck or your hand, it is technically in play. I don't think that's how it works really, but I guess we'll find out, right? Regardless though, if you discard it from your attack from Naga GX, they go in the discard pile, comes right back into your hand. If you use it to retreat, they go in the discard pile, right back into your hand. So it essentially acts like a floatstone if you have a Porygon out, because you can reattach them as many times as you like for your free retreat for the turn. And it's a free attack cost whenever you're attacking with Naga. It's just a great card. We're playing 3 because we only need like 3, because once we start chaining, they always come back into our hand. And there's no way, as far as I'm aware, there's no way for your opponent to discard them from your hand. So yeah, it's pretty good stuff there. We are playing, let me go ahead and reorganize this. We are playing 4 unit energies. Just because these are what we use to attack, because we need the psychic energy cost. Lightning and metal don't really come into play. You can use the like Duskmane and Circuitry with the lightning and metal, but yeah, the psychic, good stuff. And they're used special energies. That's the whole point. We're playing 3 triple energies once again to fulfill the attack cost of some of our Pokemon. Naga can attack for just the triple energy. The Psychic Naga. Dragon Naga can attack with this plus the unit energy, things like that. We are playing 2 Rainbow Energies for our other Ultra Beast to attack, namely Pheromosa, Buzzwole, and also Baby Buzzwole. And then we have 1 Beast Energy because we're an Ultra Beast deck. Yay, it works on most of our cards. But that's going to be the deck, guys. The deck profile is a little bit longer than I was hoping it would be, but at least it's done. This is it, guys. Hope you enjoyed the deck profile. Give me all the opinions in the chat, in the comments down below, but don't be mean, all right? Because this is my buddy's deck list, and he's been very happy with his performance, and like the games that we've played. Like I think I won the series in the video, but while we were testing, he obliterated me. Like he won every game, no question. I did go off in like 2 of those games in the video, so you know. When you don't go off, this deck is ridiculous. Also, just the fact that most decks have to play Dedenne is really in your favor too, since you can just immediately knock out Dedennes, and you have a bunch of tech options for some really good decks in format. Between Brox and being able to use your Buzzwole, you could generally, and because of Swing Around. In fact, that's one thing I did forget to mention. As far as the special energies go, I do want to make some changes. For instance, I want to play more Psychics, more Rainbows, and less something. Like I don't want to take out any of the special energies. How many is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I think 14. So maybe I would take out like, maybe instead of playing an extra supporter, I would just take out the bills altogether to put in an extra rainbow energy. And that way it's kind of like having 4 rainbow energies, and it's easier to charge up things like Baby Buzzwole for the tag team matchup versus what's it called? Versus Pikarom or Choo Choo. Although you're hitting 80, right? So you'd have to hit, you have to like have a Beast Energy to hit 110, and then you'd have to flip like 1 heads, and that way you're hitting 260, which I believe knocks out Choo Choo. You have to hit at least 1 heads to knock out Pikarom as well, but unless you're using Swing Around, of course, then you're fine because you hit the knockout damage. Just having the Rainbow Energy means that you can hit with those other attackers more often. You don't really need the 1 Rainbow Energy on this to use Beast Game, but you can use Beast Game with this. You can't attach the triple energies, but you can attach all the other energies onto this thing to use Beast Game for game a lot of the time. What else? That's pretty much it, really. And I do want to like personally take a look at all of the Ultra Beasts on my own time to see what would be good. This is of course our first take of Beast Box. There's also the Stack Attacker build. My buddy C Cucumber, I might he's on my Discord. Shout out to you, big dog. He actually sent me a list that I really liked and I wanted to try. I just haven't had the time yet. So I might see that. If you guys want to see another variant of Beast Box, thanks to him, I could show you guys in the future, and we could do a deck match with that. And it's like a Stack Attacker build. So less Rainbow in it, no Porygon, more tanking. Let me know what you guys think about that. And that's gonna be it. I'll see you guys next time. Don't forget to drop a like, subscribe, share all the good jazz, and I'll see y'all next time. Peace.